Nature is full of surprises. Some are pleasant, and others are downright scary. How would you react if you were surrounded by a pod of orcas? What if you woke up one morning with a giant python slithering on your back? If you want to see some crazy videos, you must keep watching as we count down 15 insanely scary wild animal encounters caught on camera. Number 15. Orcas. These kayakers were frightened, but not in danger of losing their lives. It was more of an exhilarated, frightened quest for the ultimate adrenaline rush multiplied by 1,000. When they set out, they had no idea the whales would be that near to them. It was simply excellent timing and pure serendipity. They stopped paddling and pulled their kayaks as close to the rocks and kelp as possible to stay out of their path, while watching them play and travel through open bay. They were, however, everywhere, and they wound up in the path of a few, as seen. However, keep in mind that their kayak was no more noticeable than a piece of driftwood floating on the water surface. Over 30 whales must have been playing and jumping. One breached entirely out of the water. They couldn't believe their eyes when they saw what they did. 3 of them went beneath their boat, and one of them stared them down. The one who stared at them had their calf with her. What a magnificent spiritual and inspirational experience these people had had with these incredible creatures. They are enormous and move quickly. Their speed and agility are incredible. The males have mammoth-like dorsal fins. These orcas are members of the southern resident orcas of the Salish Seas or North Pacific Ocean pods. They are a threatened whale community that is protected under the Endangered Species Act. A pod of orca whales on a fishing boat engaged in a chase. The fishermen were fishing off the coast of San Diego, California, when they saw the killer whales approaching their boat before daybreak. I don't know what's scarier in this video, whether the boat the guy is in is 94 years old and the engine sounds like it's about to explode, or the fact that a pod of orcas is following the boat because they want to put it out of its misery. This pod of orcas comes to play with the people in this boat, and the people can't believe their eyes. What an incredible experience this must be. In this video, a massive pod of killer whales approaches a boat. The water seems kind of agitated, but I don't think these people care because what they are witnessing is a spectacle. There's no time to think about the water. Watch this orca jump in the air and land on a kayak with people in it. The people are obviously thrown into the water, but they weren't hurt and the orca didn't land on them. Comes to the animal kingdom. If you want to see the latest confrontations between animals and the best animal videos, please subscribe now. We post new videos every day for your entertainment. Number 14. Kangaroo. I guess this only happens in Australia. A kangaroo crosses a countryside road in the middle of the night right in front of the car driving on the road. It looks like these kangaroos know when to cross the road. They wait to see if there is traffic, and then they decide to cross at the same time when it's safe. Unfortunately, this kangaroo is not as lucky as the previous kangaroos, and it gets hit by a car on a freeway. Its back legs are injured, and although it tries to get back up, it's unable to and remains lying on the ground as traffic comes to a halt. Since this golf course was built 60 years ago, the kangaroo population has exploded. At the last count, there were 359 kangaroos on this golf course, which translates into 20 kangaroos per hole. How can someone play golf in these conditions? There's so many because they're protected, and because of the nitrogen fertilizer, which makes the grass healthier and perfect for kangaroos to eat. It's the equivalent of eating supercharged grass. Number 13. Man halts charging elephants. This safari guide prevents this elephant bull from charging a newlywed couple. You can see the elephant running with all its might, and when the guide raises his arms and calls out the elephants, the beast stops running in seconds. On the last day of their honeymoon safari, the New Zealand couple was walking out when they spotted the elephant at the top of a hill and stopped to appreciate it when this happened. I suppose they were fortunate to have this guide with them. As an elephant stormed out of the bush towards this man, his pal captured the horrifying event on camera. Surprisingly, the man kept his position, and with a casual sweep of his hand, managed to scare the elephant away before smiling at his friend and continuing to shoot pictures. This elephant tries to charge these two men, but stops. Is it just trying to scare them, or does it want to teach them how to intimidate lions? Your guess is as good as mine. This herd of elephants is blocking the road, and they remain there as if to send a message that there should be no trespassing. When they finally begin to move along, one of the elephants sounds the trumpet and charges at the vehicle, which has no other choice but to back up as fast as possible. What a scary thrill that must have been. This big mama turns around and goes after this truck until the truck backs up far enough. Don't mess with elephants. This elephant calf likes this woman's hat and decides to take it off her head, but she manages to hold on to it. The elephant almost looks like he has a smile on his face. Number 12. Monkey. Monkeys have been spotted all over India's streets. Up to 5,000 rhesus macaques are thought to be spreading havoc in the neighborhood. They've converted New Delhi to their own private playground. Officials from the government have been complaining about them, even advising people to avoid eye contact with the creatures. Government staff are on high alert while on the premises until the problem is resolved. This macaque monkey is all over this girl because he wants her banana, and he gets exactly what he came for. The girl finds it cute, and I guess it is. I mean, to have a monkey like that stand on you for the price of a banana is a good deal. This monkey applied at this bank for a job as a teller, and when they didn't hire him, he took one of the employees hostage. I'm not sure if he asked for a ransom, but all the bank employees seem to find it very funny. This young lady watches these two monkeys groom one another as she holds a smaller monkey in her arms. When a second monkey hops into her arms, she is ecstatic. It's all fun and games at the monkey park. Michael Barton, a pianist, is grateful for his audience, which includes monkeys. He recently performed in Thailand for a bunch of macaques. I guess he was astonished to play the piano and discovered that they were eating the music he was playing at, devouring and tearing the stools apart. But as you know, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and he wasn't going to let anything get in the way of his mission, which is to perform music for these amazing macaques. This lady gets too close to this cage, and these spider monkeys grab onto her hair and legs. She kind of panics, but her friend is able to scare the monkeys away. Number 11. Octopus. A diver seems to have made an odd buddy off the coast of Tenerife in Spain's Canary Islands. A small octopus approached the human guest and eventually grabbed her hand. The octopus made multiple approaches and retreats, as if alternating between fear and interest, an encounter the diver described as a wonderful moment. This octopus sticks to this diver's hand, and it doesn't want to let go. Is it trying to steal his watch, or does it just want to be friends? This octopus snuggles in this diver's hand, and they are the new best friends. I guess octopi are friendlier than I thought. This octopus looks like it came straight out of a cartoon, with its eyes bulging right out of its head. This diver seems to be having a lot of fun as it plays with the funny-looking creature. Here's an octopus that fell in love with the big teddy bear. It wrapped its tentacles around the fluffy toy and even brought it close to its residence. But for some reason, the octopus gave the teddy bear its freedom as it watched it float up in the water. Number 10. Lion. When you look at our thumbnail and you see this massive lion looking into this car, what do you feel? Would you be bouncing all over the place if that was you? Or would you remain calm and raise your windows slowly? I think I would press on the gas. These three vehicles were driving off-road and really woke up a male lion in the bush, which then they chased. They were all giggling and having a good time. On a safari, lions pursue and assault a car. Listen to the paintwork being scraped. That poor family must have had the scare of their lives. Never underestimate the speed and power of wild lions, as these tourists discovered when their car needed to be painted. That is why it is critical to always follow the park's guidelines and keep your windows down when you are near a predator. This car stops in front of this lion, and the lion decides to take a breather, so the car advances so the passengers can get a better look at the feline. The big cat doesn't seem to mind, as the rest of the pride is wondering what is so interesting that's preventing this lion from joining them. This large pride of lions walks on the road when a car comes driving by and scares them off the road momentarily. They eventually get back on the road and check out the vehicles. Imagine going camping and a few lions decide they want to tear down your tent, and one of those lions is a male lion. Firstly, you're nuts for going camping where lions live, so you probably deserve to die. And secondly, you're so crazy you forgot you were nuts. How in God's name do people go camping where they know lions can show up at any time? That's what I call a death wish. Number 9. Sea lion. Sea lions are fun to watch, especially when they're trained. But sometimes they do as they please, like push this lady into the water. Is it all part of the show, or did it just happen? This sea lion seems upset. This guy tells this man if he raises his arms above his head, he will win. And just when the man does this, the sea lion becomes aggressive and chases the man. The man yells out, "I'm not winning, I'm not winning," and runs. This sea lion decided it was bored and chased a surfer using the momentum of the waves. That's cool, but I'm not sure if the surfer felt safe. The sea lion even came out of the water to hang out with the surfers, but it didn't look like they were interested. This teenager is ambushed by a sea lion and has a bite mark to show for it. Sea lions can be aggressive, so it's wise not to approach them, especially if you are alone or not supervised by an expert. Number 8. Squirrel. Watch this squirrel follow these people, and when it comes walking down the street to stare at the man, it jumps right on the man's face and attacks it. The man is shocked and turns his face right on time. This friendly squirrel decides to climb up this man's leg and socialize. The guy doesn't know what to do as the squirrel is all over him. This is one confident squirrel. These squirrels want this man's nuts. That's right, the nuts in his bowl. Now that they know where the prize is, they will continue to solicit the man for more. Watch this squirrel fly across this window. Apparently, there have been reports of squirrels attacking residents in Queens, New York, and some people have been bitten badly. The danger with squirrels is not so much the attacks, but more the diseases they may transmit. It's safer to stay away from the cute rodents. Number 7. Cow. This friendly cow comes to take a whiff of this family and continues her journey. This kid tries to mount a calf, but when the calf gets going, the kid crashes into a buggy and falls. The sound of the collision is quite hard, but the kid seems okay. This cute herd of cows move along off the road when this man, who is probably their handler, tells them to scoot over and get back onto the field. Number 6. Wallaby. This wallaby rushed to the hospital to get treated, but apparently, when nurses saw it in the clinic, they decided it had a clean bill of health. The wallaby didn't care and continued bouncing around the clinic, inspecting every corner before scampering off outside. This wallaby is being friendly to this man and tries to climb up his leg. The man tells the wallaby to stay down, but I'm not sure the wallaby understands. This wallaby pulls a few kung fu moves on the students, but the young man seems to be enjoying it all as he runs away from the attacking marsupial. Number 5. Bat. This bat invades this house and flies all over the place, while all the family members are telling each other to catch the bat. The older man tries to catch the bat with a towel, but he's not able to. The man looks like a toreador with a towel, except the bat is much smaller and much faster than a bull. The man finally catches the bat and lets it out the door. Another bat is trapped inside a house, and these cats are going bananas looking at it fly around. One of the cats jumps into the air and catches the bat, knocking it to the ground. The bat looks out of commission, and the cats try to move it around. An adult male gray-headed flying fox was imprisoned in a pool cage. Bats find it difficult, if not impossible, to escape contained or constricted spaces where they are unable to rise high enough to fly out passing the borders. The ledges around the pool were rather tiny, which made it difficult for him to go around. The painter placed a plank over the pool's corner, allowing the owner of the house access without having to walk along the ledge or risk falling in. The bat didn't like being caught, but he remained calm, or he had stuck his head hard enough to keep him silent. He seemed to be in good shape. Number 4. Bear. This huge polar bear's curiosity is aroused when he noticed this snowmobile. The bear pushes it, bites it, and even tries to climb on it. What a massive bear, and this snowmobile is going to need to go to the repair shop. This bear feels like going skiing and chases the skier down the hill. How scary is that? I just hope the skier doesn't fall, or it could spell disaster. Unless, of course, the skier is the bear's handler. Look at this bear run. This is one fast bear. A man climbs this ridge and sees a grizzly bear. He's kind of freaked out, but I'm sure he'll live. This grizzly bear swims over to this kayaker, and the kayaker is scared to death. It's rare this sort of thing happens, and bears don't usually do this. But it was learned later that a dead elk was on the other side of the lake, and that's what the bear was gunning for. I don't know about you, but I see a huge bear like this charging at me, I don't try to scare it away and continue taking pictures of it. But that's exactly what the Swedish man did when he saw this aggressive bear. It worked, and the bear scampered off because it was afraid of the man. Number 3. Fish. These guys are out fishing, and when they catch a carp, the fish almost knocks one out of the guy's as it hits it in the face. The guy finds it funny and has a good laugh with his friend. These people were out fishing when a wahoo jumped into their boats. They described it as a once-in-a-lifetime experience. After a shark flipped a Florida angler over on his kayak in the middle of the ocean, the fisherman may have become the shark's supper. Number 2. Iguana. This iguana went for a swim, and when it came out of the water, it wanted to make a few friends. This little girl decided to pet the lizard, and the lizard didn't budge. He eventually continued his walk, and the little girl followed it everywhere. This iguana is friendly, but when these people get too close, the iguana begins to sprint in spurts and stops. It scares the lady, but she finds it funny. This iguana feels confident enough to walk over to this woman and climb on her head. Once on the woman's head, the iguana just sits there and admires the scenery. The woman eventually removes the iguana from her head and places it back on the ground. During an offshore boating trip, this guy was taken aback when he stumbles across an iguana swimming a few kilometers off the coast. He came to a halt and assisted the iguana into his boat before offering him a ride back to shore. Number 1. Snake. How would you react if you opened the hood of your car and found a giant Burmese python? I know I would try to run, but I would probably faint. The owner asked his neighbor to help him out, and they grabbed the snake and got it out of there. They called wildlife services to pick up the snake. Honestly, I'm glad I live where none of these snakes exist. This woman wakes up with a huge snake on her back and goes crazy. Her roommates even close the door of the room as if it's a prank. I'm sorry, but this is not a prank to play on someone. This is scary stuff, and if my friends did this to me, I would have locked them up. This inspector is looking for termites, but instead, he finds a snake. What kind of house is this? The good news is there are no mice because the snake ate them all. The guy doesn't look impressed and keeps doing his job. This wildlife expert is called to remove a snake that was stuck in a car, and you can see as the man with the snake over his shoulder. The snake was a red-tailed boa, and it was 4 feet long. It was someone's pet that was left alone for a short period of time, and managed to get itself stuck away underneath the seat. With a little work and patience, the wildlife expert was able to get the snake out of the car. You must admit, some of these encounters were darn right scary. The one that horrified me the most was the prank with the huge snake slithering on the woman's back in her bed. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's our countdown of 15 amazing wild animal attacks. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.